What's up, everybody? We are here in my redstone tester world, in my creative world. As you can see, our mob farm that we built in the last video is still chucking out zombies left and right. We're dropping them down and just letting them die down there. I decided to split this next part of the four-part series into a part A and part B. So we're going to have parts 1, 2A, 2B, 3, and 4. It's kind of a 5-part series now, but I don't feel like changing the names of the videos or fixing my last video, so we're just going to have part A and part B. So this video is going to be about XP farming. We're going to get the experience from the mobs that we built the spawning farm for last time. That way we can use that experience for enchanting armor, enchanting items, and stuff like that. We're going to do two different kinds of XP farms. I'm going to show you in part A. I'm going to show you the drop farm. Or I'm sorry, yeah, the drop version. You're going to cause drop damage to these zombies or skeletons. You're going to drop them 22 blocks and collect their items that way. To do that, I'm going to teach you how to use water for transporting them and also build a water elevator so that you can stand within 16 blocks of the spawner there instead of just dropping immediately down 22 blocks, because you have to be within 22 blocks of the spawner to activate it. See, if I look straight at it here and I drop down, once I get more than 16, see, the fire went out there. It's not active anymore. No more zombies are going to be spawning. There's a couple more in there that are going to fall out, but it's not spawning them anymore. When I get up to 16 blocks, now it turns on. Now it's going to start spawning them again. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. The first thing I need to show you how to do is water transportation. So the way we're going to do this is similar to last time, how we had the cylinder of glass coming out of the bottom here, but we're not going to take it all the way down to the ground. We're just going to take this down a few blocks so that we can catch the zombies as they fall here. And I'm going to go ahead and go into peaceful really quick so we don't have them messing with me while I'm building. Difficulty P. Alrighty, so the zombies are not going to spawn anymore. So this is the first part. We're going to build a little catcher. If they spawn now, they're just going to fall and land right. It's not going to let me spawn them right now. I'm in peaceful. But they're going to get caught on this piece of glass right here. So we're going to go ahead and instead of letting them continue dropping, we're going to build a little pathway for them. We're going to go ahead and take it 7 blocks long to start with. We're going to take it a little bit longer than that, actually, so I can show you what to do from there. So, and then we're going to build a wall up along the side of it so that they don't fall out. You can drop them more than 2 blocks out of it if you want to. It's just, if you do, you want to put a glass ceiling on top of it as well, and I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. I'm going to get rid of the blocks that we don't need because they're not helping, so that you can see which ones are necessary in case you have a low supply of glass or whatever item you use to make these pathways with. I always like making them out of glass because I like seeing these zombies or skeletons get transported around places. So see, as we come out from underneath it now, there's more than 2 blocks here. This is going to be filled with water, and the zombies and the skeletons, both of them, are going to be jumping. They're going to be bobbing in the water as they go. Right here they can't, so they're being kept under 2 blocks. But as they get over here, they're going to bounce, and that's going to slow everything down. So what you're going to do is take the glass or whatever block you're building with and build along a ceiling above them once we get out from underneath there. Just make sure you have a ceiling on there. It's not necessary, but it definitely helps. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this pathway up. That should be enough. Let's go ahead and see how far this water goes. So we're going to drop 1 bucket of water. Let me do one more thing. So what you can do, you can place the bucket of water right here, and that will work. But sometimes when they spawn, they'll land right here in this water that's not moving, and they won't go anywhere until the next one comes along. If you want to speed everything up just a little bit, a trick for that is to place the water right over there. Let me get to where I can do this. You're going to build a little hole around the water so that the water can't come out. And again, I'm going to punch out the blocks we don't need. So what I'm doing here is I'm making a little bowl for the source block of water to sit in, and the zombies and skeletons aren't going to land in that water. They're going to land in the water that's already moving. So as you can see now, we've got a little hole right there. The zombies are going to fall right here, but the source block of water is going to be right there, not these two. That one right there is the source block of water. So when they fall right here into the moving water. So they're going to get pushed along to right here. Now they're going to stop. You can't just put another bucket of water right here, because then it's going to make the water fight with the water before, and it's not all going to move in the same direction, and they'll get caught up somewhere around here. So what you're going to want to do, let me go ahead and grab a sign in my inventory really quick. With this sign, and the signs don't work the way they used to anymore because of the new water mechanics. So if I place this sign inside the water here, sometimes it'll stop it, and sometimes the water will flow right through it. I haven't figured out the mechanics exactly yet, but I know that sometimes the water has flown right through the sign that I placed. So you're going to want to put the signs down before you put all the water. So we're going to put one sign right there. We're not going to type anything on it. And another sign right here. And the reason we're doing that, when we place this source block of water, let me make sure this water isn't going to, it's going to fall right down on my redstone. So I'm going to finish up this path really quick, then I'll show you what we do with this sign. I want to make sure the water doesn't pour out and mess up my redstone down there. So this should certainly be far enough. We're building underneath another build right now. I'm just going to let it work as my ceiling. It doesn't have to, but instead of knocking it out, wasting time doing that, we're just going to let it work as my ceiling for a little while. So this should be far enough out. I don't think we're going to have any trouble with the water trying to pour out anymore. And instead of putting the water on the ground now, you're going to put it in this block right here next to this sign. So what the sign is serving as is it's keeping the water from spilling over that way. So now we place it, let me swim over to this side and show you what that looks like. So as they get pushed this way, they're getting pushed into this higher water. And they're going to keep, this right here is a spot where they have a tiny little spot they can stand in. But immediately once another zombie or skeleton touches them behind them, oh man, I placed that perfectly. The water almost spilled over and messed up my redstone. They're going to keep getting pushed along, and so you can make this go as far as you want it to now. But the goal is to keep yourself within 16 blocks of the spawner. So you're going to want to count out, or at least punch a hole in the wall where you can see the spawner, make sure it's active. So I'm going to actually stop it at the first part. I just wanted to show you how if you were going to carry them any farther, how you were going to do that. But I'm going to go ahead and stop this second half now. We don't need any of this anymore. We're going to use just the first half. And I'm going to show you how to build a water elevator on top of this now. So the water elevator, what it's going to do is it's going to carry these zombies or skeletons 22 blocks up in the air for you, and then you're going to drop them. And I want this water elevator to carry me up to a little bit higher than 22 blocks, so I can stand somewhere around here and be level with the spawner. So I'm actually going to build it up higher than 22 blocks, and then we'll drop them from there, and we'll mess around with it a little bit until we get it to exactly the spot we want to stand at. So I think that's enough out of my way now. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to build the very bottom of the water elevator, but the rest of it, the part going up, I'm going to build by myself. I'll cut and show you guys what it looks like when it's finished. So we're going to build a little hole around, I don't know why it paused there, around these guys, right at the end of the water. And we're going to place a sign right there. And we're going to keep building this funnel up above it. And I'm going to, again, knock out the blocks you don't need so you can see that you don't need these guys. And this is going to be our funnel going straight up here. We need it to be 4 blocks around with a hole in the center. And then you're going to take this funnel all the way up to as high as you want it to go. And if you drop down in here, you can see that it goes straight from being 2 blocks high to being, there's not a ceiling here now. So I'm going to go ahead and pause my video for a second, guys. I'm going to show you what it's going to look like when we're done. Alright guys, we're back now. I took the funnel, the elevator, 29 blocks up into the sky. You're not going to need to go that high if you. It really just depends on where you want to stand when you're doing this, how high you're going to take it. But the point of this is to keep yourself wherever the zombies or skeletons are landing in front of you. Keep yourself right in front of that spawner in there, the single spawner block. So what we're going to do to build the water elevator, we're going to put another sign right here. So these two signs are going to keep this water from interacting with that water. And then we're going to place a bucket of water right here above our head. We're going to swim up a little bit and place another one. And we're going to keep going up one at a time like this. You don't want to skip any blocks because then the water's going to pull them down instead of up. The water's not exactly pulling them up, but as I mentioned in the last video, zombies and skeletons are always going to swim up naturally when they're in water. So I'm going to go ahead and get up out of this really quick. I wasn't counting because I was talking. We want to take this up about 10 blocks of water high before we go. That looks like about 10. The number doesn't matter it doesn't matter a whole lot. But you don't want to take the zombies or skeletons too far in water without giving them a little pocket of air. And I'm going to show you how to do that really quick. So we're going to call this 10 blocks. And we're going to throw a sign right there. That sign, again, is going to keep the water from spilling down into the other water, but it's also, while they're swimming up, it's going to give them a pocket of air for a second. So now it restarts their counter for how long they can be underwater without drowning, because you don't want these guys drowning. If they drown, you're not going to be able to get their experience. So we're just going to keep taking this up. We're going to take it up about 10 more blocks. And if you do accidentally skip one, it's not a big deal. You can just place one right there at the level you were. Alright guys, so we're going to place another sign here, give them another pocket of air so they can keep breathing, and we're going to keep going up until we hit the top. I know we're getting pretty close to it. So right there, we got 29 blocks up. So what you're going to do here, alright, we're going to get rid of that water now that we're out. We don't need that water anymore. Just the top 2 blocks. That way it doesn't spill while we're working. And we're going to punch out these 2 blocks right here. That way, and we're going to give them a wall, that way now we have a place that we can pour the zombies and skeletons out of for our dropper. And we want them to drop right next to this. I'm going to give them, I'm going to let them drop literally right along that. I'm going to use this block for the sake of resource, what's the word, saving resources. I can't think of the word I was actually looking for there. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to use that block as the funnel down, as the back wall for the funnel down. I'm going to put another ceiling on it to speed production up, make everything move a little bit faster. And then we're going to take this funnel here that we're creating. We're going to take this down all the way down to wherever we want to stand. So I'm going to drop it down 22 blocks from where they are standing when they fall, which is going to be right there. So that's this block here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright guys, we've got our funnel taking them all the way down to the bottom, all the way down 22 blocks where we're going to want to catch them. We've got one more thing to do at the top here. We're going to place a sign right there. That's not a sign, that is a hopper. We're going to place a sign right there at the edge. And then we're going to put one more bucket of water above that one. The water's going to pour over but not spill over. And just a heads up, if you are building any of this going outside in any way, or if you take it up high enough to where it goes up above ground, make sure you leave a ceiling over top of these guys so that they don't take any damage from the sun, since they are undead. So we're going to come back down to the bottom here. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put a ceiling on top of it, because again, we don't want them bouncing around. That slows everything down. They take a little bit longer to fall when they have no ceiling. So we're going to come back down to the bottom here. The next block we're going to place is a hopper. We're going to place that right where we want to catch them. I went a little bit too low. Here it is. So at 22 blocks, you're going to place a hopper right there. And you see how I have a... I didn't come all the way down on all 4 areas. This front one I knocked out. That way you can punch them in the legs. You've got a hole there. I can punch inside there to where they're standing. So we've got that hopper right there. And you can place a chest right underneath it. And that hopper is just going to feed all the items directly into that chest. I've got to make sure the hopper's facing into the chest. In Pocket Edition, you have to be standing on something, which in survival you always will be. You won't be flying around, obviously. But in Pocket, yeah, you have to be standing on something at all times if you want to place hoppers where they're facing into something, because you have to be crouching when you click on the chest you want it to face into. So we crouch down, we place the hopper facing into that chest now. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out of peaceful really quick. I'm going to put it in easy, and we're going to see some zombies start spawning. And I'm also going to test it out with skeletons for you. Difficulty easy. Alright. So the reason I'm showing it to you in easy rather than in hard or in a normal is that they're going to take more than one hit a lot of the time in hard or normal because they spawn with armor. We've already got some zombies coming out. We got our first victims. So I'm going to follow them up really quick with you guys, and you're going to see what happens here. See how we have a baby zombie there? I've got this little hole here where you can get out of. Well, the adult zombie pushed him out. Let's see if he makes it all the way to the top. We really don't want him to with this design. I'm going to show you in the next video how to handle baby zombies on these water elevators. So as they get up to the top, they're going to start shunting each other forward, and they're going to fall all the way down. And they're going to land there on our hopper. This hopper is 22 blocks away from where they fell from. So when I go and punch this guy, he should die immediately like he did. Now I'm going to say before I punch this one, yep, see, sometimes and he, right now, see, we didn't want that to happen. He's actually free to get out now. He can go wherever he wants. He can run on out. If I wasn't in creative, he would come and attack me immediately. And he didn't take any damage because he was on the shoulders of the larger zombie. So anyway, in Pocket Edition, sometimes zombies specifically take less damage from falls. I don't know why that is. That isn't the case in PC. But for some reason, every once in a while, it never takes more than 2 punches, though. But that really doesn't slow your farm down. So you get to sit here and just punch their legs as they keep spawning. And see how, while I'm standing here, the spawner is active. I am less than 16 blocks away. So it's just going to keep spawning them, and I'm going to keep collecting their experience. I'm going to show you really quick. I'm going to test it out with some skeletons. I've got this hole over here. I'm going to get where I can throw some skeleton spawning eggs inside, and they're going to swim up and do the same thing as the zombies. Move it, baby. That one's going to die because I punched his legs. So one of those skeletons is going to die when he hits the ground, but they usually won't do that. Alright, let's get over here and catch those skeletons. Alright, there he is. He did not die. The next one should. I'm going to punch this skeleton once and he dies. Let's punch these zombies out. You see, it works pretty easily. It's a fantastic design if you like if you don't like using redstone, if you don't want to mess with repeaters and comparators and redstone dust, and you just want to use fall damage, which is probably the most natural way to kill them, other than sunlight or drowning them. But those two you can't get experience from. So I hope you guys like the way that this works. If you have any questions about the way it works, leave it in the comments section. If you like the video, leave a like. In the next video, make sure to come and check it out. We're going to do let's see if I can show it to you really quick. We're going to build this guy right here. We're going to build a softener that uses a redstone piston to soften them. It crushes them rather than drop damage. And it crushes them for a certain amount of time to do the exact same amount of damage as this fall damage does. And that's actually more consistent since the gravity isn't involved. That's more consistent, and the zombies are always left with only one hit. And as you can see, it takes up way less space. So yeah, make sure to check out the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. You have a wonderful day.